Hello, I'm Lou. I am going to be making cabbage soup today. This is not the cabbage soup that they make that's like kind of gross. This is the one that's like, it's healthy, but it's not as like straight up, you know. Let me check this in. I'll look a little frumpy. Yeah. Is that less frumpy? Anyway, don't look at my frumpiness. Okay, I'm going to do this live. I'm making cabbage soup, and this is the good cabbage soup. It's not the gross cabbage soup. So you want to get a medium largest size pot or Dutch oven. I don't know what size this is. Anyway, you're going to put that on the stove, and you're going to start heating it up at medium heat. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, because this makes everything tastier, is we're going to start with some bacon. So you always want to start with a little fat. You can use whatever you want, really. You can use butter. You can use olive oil. I don't typically use olive oil for this because it has a low smoke point. So I'm going to take 2 strips of bacon and throw them in my pot. If you're fancy, you can chop them up first, but I find that it's extremely difficult and an exercise in futility to try and chop up raw bacon, unless it's frozen. If it's frozen, it's easy to do. Or I should say easier to do. Okay, now we're going to need... I'm using this cabbage, this red cabbage, because I got it at the Seeding Frenzy, and this came from St. Louis Garlic Farms, and cabbage takes a long time to go bad, so like, you just get a couple little yucky dry leaves, just pull those off, okay? And we're going to put those in I don't have a trash bowl, okay, so... Always when you're doing stuff with vegetables, have yourself a nice trash bowl for your scraps, and then you can throw those right into your compost. Now I need a cutting board, and I just want to show you how easy this is. And it is healthy if you're just trying to add more vegetables, but you don't want it to be like, yuck. Sorry, I'm feeling lumpy over here. Okay, I'm still wearing my pajamas. Shut. Okay, so I've got my cabbage, and I've got these carrots that my husband got for me. This is all going to go in my compost, all this lovely greenery. Now, you can make stuff to eat out of this, the green parts of the carrot. I usually don't unless I grow, like when I grow my own carrots, I do, but, oh shit, I dropped the carrot. Oh. You can hear that bacon sizzling now. I don't need all of these, so I'm just going to pull out, like, that much. I'm going to put the rest back in the fridge for later. You can use, oh, I got zucchinis in here too. You can basically use whatever vegetables you have. I'm going to use zucchini, carrot, onion, and cabbage. All right. Now, get you a wooden spoon, like this. And you're going to show you what's going on down here. Can you see that? I hope I don't make you seasick. So it's just going to start rendering all the fat out. Whew. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you seasick. And then when it gets crispy, you can chop it up with a pair of kitchen scissors. So we need all that good fat. That's going to be what's going to give us our flavor. And I also like to use garlic. Now I have some nice garlic also from the St. Louis Garlic Farm because, you know, it's the St. Louis garlic farm. You might as well get some garlic from there. There's our nice, beautiful garlic. Now, I need an onion. I'm going to pause you here in a second and wash all my vegetables because I wasn't ready. I know, I should be ready, right? But I thought I'd do this live, it's not a live stream, but I thought I'd record it live because then you could see, in real time how long it takes. But you know how to wash vegetables, and you don't need to watch me do that, so hang on. Okay. Now, I turned my bacon down because it's starting to smoke a little bit. And, sorry, I had my exhaust fan on. This is my favorite knife. It's a KitchenAid knife. It's a petite chef knife. I don't know where it came from. I'm pretty sure I didn't buy this, so I don't know. I've had it for a long time. Don't know where it came from, though. So cut your little ends off of your zucchini there. We're going to set him aside. The things you want to get into your pot, into that fat first, are your harder, more fibrous veggies, like your onion. Well, okay, so the onion, I guess it's not really hard or fibrous, but I like the onion to get a little caramelized, and that's another thing that'll give you a lot of flavor. So you got to get your aromatics in. Now, for those of you who are fancy and know what mirepoix is, definitely use your mirepoix. That's your aromatics. That is usually onion, celery, and carrot. Now, I'm not a huge fan of celery. I will use it in small amounts because it does add a flavor. It adds a bit of a flavor that helps. Like a complex. Here, I'll get this giant cabbage out of the way. Ah! Carrot attack. It makes the flavor more complex. It adds some good fiber, but when you're working with all vegetables, it's all fiber. Okay, so these are small carrots, so I'm just cutting them up into little pieces, basically. You don't have to be fancy. You don't have to cut it into any specific way. I just like to do it, little pieces. See? Little pieces. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick that in that hot fat with that bacon. I have not cut up my bacon yet, and that's okay. You can do that basically whenever you want, or you don't even have to cut it up. You can just leave it in big old honking pieces, and it'll eventually break up a little bit in your soup when you add your cooking liquid. Again, I'm not looking amazing this morning. I just woke up and my 8:30 alarm was the first one that I heard, and that's the one that tells me that me and my son have to get out of the house and get going to school. So we woke up and just threw our clothes on and left, and I made him a little lunch, barely, and we're going to put these guys right in our compost bucket. Yeah, so I'm just like, maybe I'll just make a cooking video. That sounds like a great idea. I was watching Kristen Hampton, and she was making pickle soup, and I was like, I just love Kristen Hampton. And I'm like, why don't I make a video? Now, I'm not nearly as funny and cute as she is. She has just got that adorable awkwardness down. Like, I love her. I love watching her videos. The ones I like the most are the ones with the cows, though. But anyway, so we're gonna just get this all coated, get all these carrots coated in the nice bacon fat. I don't believe that animal fat is necessarily bad for you. I mean, it is, but it isn't. There's so many other things out there that are so much worse, like the fake fats and the partially hydrogenated and all that. If you are in reasonably good health, I see nothing wrong with it. If you are reasonably active, I don't think a little bacon fat is going to hurt you. Again, I'm not an expert. Okay? My dad would probably be rolling in his grave right now. Don't tell them to eat bacon fat. He was very health conscious. He basically only cooked with olive oil. And then they used a lot of margarine when I was growing up until he discovered that that was not good for you. But, you know, in small quantities, I just feel like, God, life is too short. You gotta enjoy your food. We're not socking this full of bacon. It's not bacon soup. 2 little strips of bacon in a whole pot of soup ain't gonna kill you. I mean, unless you're like allergic to bacon or something. Oh, God, that would suck. Now, I am dairy-free, gluten-free, soy-free, and egg-free. So I gotta eat something. And, you know, I can eat meat. Hallelujah. If I couldn't, I just would shrivel up and die. Now, I can eat animals, but not the things that come out of animals. So, right, no dairy, no eggs, none of that stuff. Now we're just dicing up this onion here. And we're going to pop that in that pot. And again, these don't have to be perfect. We're not super chefs here. We're not working in fancy restaurants. And you know what I like to call it? I like to call it rustic. It's rustic. Okay? That's what it is. Now, I'm back on the cabbage soup. Something just flew out of my pot. Margie, you want this? My dog is running around here somewhere. She has a pretty high vocabulary. One of her things that she knows is when I say, Margie, do you want this? There, right there. It's a carrot coated in bacon grease. Yeah, she wants that. When I say, Margie, do you want this? She comes running from wherever she is in the house because she knows that I dropped something and she's about to eat. Now I'm going to turn this up a little bit because I've lost my sizzle. I know, I see you. Here, say hi to Margie. Say hi to Margie. Hi, Foo. Say hi. Aw, that's my good girl. Okay. Now, let's get a look in this pot while we're at it. If you can see what's going on in there. It's looking beautiful. Okay. Now, so we got our onions and our carrots in here. What was I saying? I was saying something about... Was I talking about my dad? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure I'll look back at this video when I'm done with it and be like, oh my God, you're such a spaz. Oh, we want to get our garlic in here too. I forgot about the garlic. I haven't had fresh garlic in a while. I could do that over my trash bucket. I love garlic, so I put a lot in. I got... Woo, I'm going to put in... Garlic is very good for you. That is something... Oh no, I dropped one in the trash bucket. That I am... You know what? I could just put this whole head in there. Garlic is just... Well, for simplicity's sake. And for those of you out there, you know, you could put as much or as little as you want of any of these things. You could add all kinds of vegetables, you know. Some vegetables are better for making soup than others just because they stand up a little better and they don't get all, like, mushy. Like, that is how my mom makes... Sorry, Mom, I'm throwing you under the bus a little bit, but that's how my mom makes her cabbage soup. She boils it all down into a gunge, and I'm like, dude, that is not good. And she's like, it's great for you, and then you're supposed to eat it for a week. And I'm like, dude, ain't nobody gonna eat that. I'm like, I can barely eat that once. So this is where I came up with this. And it actually was I adapted it from a recipe for French pesto soup, which is basically, that means like pesto. So it's like a vegetable soup, a French vegetable soup, and you add in like pesto herbs at the end. And you know what I did? You know, in the grocery store you can get those tubes of like herb paste. So there's one that is like, but they're like kind of fresh, I guess, because they put like I'm sure they put terrible chemicals in them. Lactic acid and whatnot. But I would just take the one that's like the Italian herbs and just afterwards, you don't cook it into it because then it all wilts up and gets gross. But you squeeze some in at the end and mix it in, and then, man, that's really good. I don't have any of that right now, but you know, this is just me adapting this. Now, after I get my garlic in there, I'm gonna smell like garlic now. I don't care. I'm half Italian, so I can smell like garlic if I want. It'll keep the vampires away. Let's see. Alright, now I got all my garlic right here. Don't pay attention if you see anything messy in the background, because I'm messy and my house is kind of messy a lot of the time. That's okay. I live here. And me and my family are kind of messy. But Marshall has been really amazing at keeping my kitchen pretty clean. He's been doing a lot of dishes. Bless him. I love it when he does that, but I can't always find everything. I love you. Okay, got all your good garlic there. Throw that in. I'm going to turn my heat up a little more because I'm not getting the sizzle that I want. So basically what you're just doing is you're coating these vegetables in the fat, and you are going to get it all nice and roasty. You want it, all the vegetables you add in, and we're going to do the cabbage at the very end. Ah, my nose is so itchy! Ah! You're going to get everything all good and coated in fat. And now, this is the other thing. We're releasing the natural sugars in the... That's a wet zucchini. We're releasing the natural sugars in our veg. And that's where they start talking about the caramelization process. We're not going for caramelization. That's not really... we don't need to have everything caramelized. But it makes the flavor so much better, and it kind of seals it in before you add your broth or your wet ingredients or whatever, your soup liquid, your soup stock. And that's another reason why I think a lot of people end up with that cabbage soup, like the cabbage soup diet, cabbage soup that is like, it's just a mush and there's no flavor, and it's all just like boiled, it's basically boiled vegetables. Oh God, that smells good. One more thing. You are going to want some of this stuff. This is the best. Better than bouillon. Now, this, I believe, does contain some gluten. It's just a soup base, but you know what? I use such a small amount of it that it generally doesn't bother me. I'm not a celiac. So I just take like a little, see how much I'm putting in? It's like about a teaspoon. And I just put that right in when I'm doing my aromatics. Okay? This stuff is great. They have a lot of new flavors now too. It does have a, you know, it's like, it's a soup base. It has a high salt content, okay? So we don't really need to add very much salt. And also, depending on your health situation and your dietary requirements, oh, it's starting to smell good. You know, do what you're supposed to be doing. Don't go crazy and get your blood pressure up with too much salt. Okay, this guy here, this zucchini. So when you go to culinary school, they tell you to take out all these seeds. The prime part of the zucchini is the fleshy part, not the seeds. I like the seeds, and in zucchinis and squashes, and in, I'm gonna turn that down, it's starting to get a little brown. Cucumbers and things like that, the seeds are really good at helping to prevent parasites in your intestines. So I also like the texture because I'm weird. I leave the seeds in. Sometimes I don't. Mostly I do. Now, see, I've got them quartered, and then I'm just going to cut them up into, you know, pieces about like that, because you don't want them to go to mush. That's another thing that's just like, is mushy zucchini? No, you don't want that. Okay. Now, we're doing this mostly in real time here, so you'll see that this is very quick and easy to make, actually. I mean, it's not like the fastest thing in the world. It's not as fast as going through the drive-thru. But, you know, it generally takes about 25 minutes to make the whole thing. Now, you get your zucchini in there, and you stir that around a little bit, let that do its thing. Then, we're going to get our cabbage in, and then you're basically done. You just have to put some water in. And now you can use, if you don't have better than bouillon, but you have stock, or, you know, some kind of vegetable stock, you can use that. I'm just going to pull this leaf, looks a little funky too. I'm going to pull him off. That'll go into my compost. Now, I don't wash this. I probably should. Maybe I should. But it's just so, it's like the leaves are so tightly packed together, it's like, why do I need to wash it? What could possibly be in there? I mean, do I have to, like, cut it up? And, I mean, I know, stuff could probably get in there. But I'm going to, like, boil it, so, I don't know. So, this knife is not the greatest for that, because, look, shorty. But I'm going to do it anyway. See where my little butt is? Cut it in half, right on that. This is going to be the video showing me cut my own damn hand off. Urgh! Bastard! Okay. Now, look at how beautiful that is. Oh. So, I cut that one slightly smaller. I'm going to put him in there. And this other one can go away into the fridge. I love vegetables. I really do. And then I'm just going to cut this into thin, you know, shreddy things like that. Throw it in. Now, the cabbage cooks really fast. I like my cabbage to stay kind of crunchy, so I just throw it in there. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit and just get it coated in some of that good bacon fat. Again, this is not the cabbage soup that they tell you to go on after you've had heart surgery because it's got bacon in it, but it's really good. And it's fresh, and it's yummy, and really, it's... Just saute your vegetables first. And it's really nice if you use a variety of colors, because I'm going to show you this. Look at the color. Look at the color. Look at all this beautiful color in here. I mean, that is gorgeous. I mean, that looks like something you want to eat. It doesn't look like a pile of nasty gray vegetables that have been boiled to death. I promise the next video I make, I will wear makeup and try to make myself more presentable. I'm not even wearing a bra. Shh. No time there. God damn, I am looking old. Well, that's what I look like when I just roll out of bed and have to make a lunch and run my kid off to school, like, immediately. So, there it is. Human! Not perfect. I think I need a little more cabbage. You just do it however you want to do it. And if you don't want to do it at all, then that's fine. You can just watch me make it and then just say, okay. Funny. Weird, bizarre lady making cabbage soup in your pajamas. Now, when I had a guinea pig, my guinea pig would love this. Actually, Margie kind of likes this. Margie, you want this core? Sweetheart, do you want this cabbage core? She's very weird. I forgot to give her a piece of zucchini. She loves zucchini. But she's kind of a doggy garbage disposal. And I don't mean like, some people say, oh, my dog's like a garbage disposal. No, like she eats weird shit. Like she loves watermelon and certain cruciferous vegetables. I don't know. Margie, do you want this cabbage? Where are you, baby? Margie. Thank you! Oh, excuse me. Well, I'm going to save this for her. Because she'll probably want it. She's going to be wondering why I didn't get... There she is. You want this, baby? Watch this. Let me show you. See if I can flip this around so I don't make you all dizzy. Okay. Where are you? You want this? Look at how weird she is. Yeah. Nope, not that weird. She left it behind. You don't want that? She's like, I smell bacon. Why are you giving me this? She'll eat it. She's weird. Okay. Now, look at that. Ugh. So we got all our good flavors in there. You don't want to cook this cabbage too... Oh, she just took off with it. You don't want to cook this cabbage too long because you don't want it to get too... You want it to stay kind of firm. So look at all that beautiful color. And I think I am going to cut up that piece of bacon. Alright, I'm going to swap back around. So you can see my beautiful face. Yeah, next time I'll put makeup on. Not like I need it. This is not the most flattering of camera angles though, so just shut up. And I'm also bloated because PMS, so I'm going to pull this bacon out and cut it up. Is there any more in there? Any more big pieces? Now after this all gets coated really good, we're going to pour in, I usually get my kettle out and, yeah, that's ready. I need to turn that down. And boil some water. So the water that I'm putting in is already hot, so I don't have to bring it up to a boil. And that way, basically your soup is ready. Right then and there. And that didn't take too long, did it? I can hear the dog. I can hear Margie chomping on that cabbage core. Of course, I will probably find little bits and pieces of it back there. But that's okay. She's worth it. Okay, I'm just going to cut this bacon up. It still doesn't want to get cut. Well, you're getting cut whether you like it or not, you son of a bacon. Get that all little tiny pieces. Okay. Now, throw your bacon back in the pot. And I don't really do any seasoning until the very end. After I get the water in, then I add some salt and pepper. Not too much. Mostly pepper. I love black pepper. It's awesome. And in case you didn't know this, black pepper actually can work as a laxative in higher quantities. It's not like going to make you poop your pants or anything, but you know. That's one of those Ayurvedic things that they do over in India and other places. Okay, now, and in case you didn't know, cabbage is antioxidant, and carrots are anti-inflammatory, and zucchini, I don't know exactly what zucchini does. I'm sure if I Googled health benefits of zucchini, it would come up and be like, oh, it's so amazing. But I like to know because it makes me feel good, and sometimes I feel like when you're putting good food in your body and you are aware of the health benefits and you're thinking good thoughts about it while you're eating it, that it kind of helps your body to, you know, do good things with your food. I know, it sounds weird. Shut up. Never underestimate the power of positivity. I'm not talking about like toxic positivity, like everything's fine, it's fine, it's fine, everything's fine. I mean, like, if you really believe you're doing good food, and you are, and you really, you know, I feel like feeling positive about it, it's not going to hurt anything. I mean, I guess it's kind of like talking to your plants. It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if they actually proved that that was a thing, but it can't hurt. Okay. I'm going to add some water here. There we go. I don't cover the vegetables in water I put it about, you know, I like to have the vegetables like sticking up a little bit. But anyway, maybe I should put this on YouTube. Nah, I don't know if I want my introduction to YouTube to be like, as a YouTuber, bloated at a bad angle with no makeup on and like looking like a hot mess. Maybe. Maybe that's what the world is missing. Hot mess mom makes vegetable soup in her pajamas. Hey. Maybe I'm onto something there. God, I look like I have a double chin. Maybe I need to be doing that thing. When my kids say it's called like meowing or mewing or... yes. Stupid. Anyway, so we're pretty much done here. I'm going to add some fresh cracked pepper, and then I'm going to eat it. Do you know they consider noodles and soup a garnish? Anything that is not cooked within the soup during the cooking process that you add afterwards is a garnish. I learned that in culinary school. Which, you know, I didn't really learn anything I didn't already know except for stuff like that that's just like, what? And they're like, oh, we'll teach you how to make Alfredo. I'm like, oh, this is basically the same way you make gravy for biscuits and gravy. Right. Alright, that's done. I'm gonna eat it. Bon appetito! Here, let me... I know, though, but it's a half an hour video. It's like, is it really... It can't go on well, it definitely can't go on YouTube Shorts, because it's not short. I guess I'll have to put it on YouTube. Where's my fudging ladle? Well, that's going to be a pain in the butt. I just want to get a nice bowl here. Look at this beautiful rice bowl. My mother gave us these for Christmas. They're really pretty. They are Dining Redesigned. Whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna have to use my big cafeteria spoon. This big one, right here, yeah. That'll ladle some slop. This is not slop though, but that's always what I imagine. All right. Then you end up with this really beautiful soup here. See, the problem is I want to get that broth, and I can't get the broth with this little flat slop spoon. Get in there. I mean, it's called soup. Okay. Now, there it is. Now, doesn't that look lovely? I'm going to eat it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I promise to try to be more entertaining and attractive in my next video. Oh, also, look at my shoes. I've got lobster feet. Oh God, my hairy legs. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Bye.